Welcome back. Hello everyone, my name is Scalti, and this is our Timberborn Let's Play. Last we left off, we got our farming croplands sorted out. For the most part, we still got a little bit more work to do, and allowing some beavers to finish up, finishing some structures, but we're in pretty good shape with that. And next up, we're working on powering up. Seeing if we can't refine the stream, narrow it down, and try and get a little bit more power out of these water wheels than we were prior, and continuing to work towards expanding our industrial district, so that way we can start getting some supplies and getting that ready for our bigger project down the road. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy. All right. To keep on with what we were doing, so last we, I mentioned, left off, we finished up our farmland area, which is looking fantastic, and we're working on getting some planks built up once we get this structure in place. So let's go ahead and speed things along a little bit. And population-wise, we have 6 vacancies, but 6 unemployed. Oh, it's because we can't access. That's right. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. So let's see, actually, we have our builders maxed out. We do. So we'll let those get all of this stuff here built up. I'm thinking we might want to nick the blueberries. But actually, maybe I'll wait until, I think our food is going to be fine, especially with the amount of carrots we have. But maybe let our food stabilize a little bit more, and then we can scrap these blueberries. We're not going to need them, and we can start utilizing the space for some more storage of other things. Or actually, maybe I might actually clear this space out. I kind of like that, and we're a little lacking on logs. They're just taking a little while to gather up, so maybe we have some of those beavers prioritize log acquisition over here. And we'll actually mark these trees to be cut down. Because these do take up a decent amount of wood, these levees. So making sure that we have a nice stable income for that would be a good idea. Oh, I actually like that. I can just pause here and they can just go over and navigate to all that. I think, let's just double check. So those are going to be last priority. I want to make sure that we get these levees constructed up just fine. One of the things that's also worth kind of balancing, if you will, is the hauling posts and then also the builders' huts. The builders' huts can definitely expedite the process, because we are currently waiting on power and we don't have any planks, so there's no point doing the builders' hut or the hauling post, but just food for thought. And then also, just to quickly touch on it since we're here, the district crossing. This essentially just kind of helps you load balance, if you will, your districts. So that way, maybe like you want to take some of this food and put it over here near your industrial district, so that way your industrial workers aren't going all the way across the map to go get some food. This district crossing can help the haulers balance resources out. So we can have, instead of having a full 200 over here, they'll put 100 here, and then they'll put 100 over here type thing, and they'll kind of keep the status quo even, if you will. So I'm curious to see. Looks like our flow rate is going up already, which is quite nice. If I recall correctly, we should get a flow rate of 6 CFM, or 6 cubic feet per minute. I believe is how they do that. You can use the stream gauge to kind of identify that, but you can also visually see the increased flow rate as well. So that can be beneficial. But yeah, we should get, I believe it's 6 and 6 across each side. The one thing I'm curious about is if it will cause a backup over here and create some flooding. I don't think it should, but we'll see. You never know. The way fluid flow is calculated in the game can get a little tricky, if you will. There's a way to... Oh, that was interesting. There's a way to... Oh, I think it's just because I built this over here. So... I'm a little curious. I feel like it is rising up, but ever so slightly. Or I could just be... Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we are A-okay. But if this works out in our favor, this should yield us a good amount of power. I did some studying with this type of design in taking the 12 source blocks of water and condensing it down into a 2 wide stream. And we should get about 530, 540 horsepower per water wheel if we follow this system here, which is really good. Especially if we can do 2, that's 1,000 horsepower right out of the gate, which for the resources spent, right? So like it's 12 logs to create a levee, and then it is 50 to create a water wheel. So we spent some extra resources on the levees, but because we're getting so much more out of the water wheel, because you can even see here, you know, average water wheel, which I think is per 1 cubic feet per minute, or cubic meters per it's cubic meters per second. So yeah, cubic meters, I think that's what the S stands for, is CMS, cubic meters per second. So I think based on that value, if we take the 90 and multiply that by 12, let me just double check that on my phone here. No, that's not right. That gives us 1080. So if I actually divide that by 2, though, it gives us the 540 that I was expecting. So you can see here, 533 horsepower. So that is a hefty sum for what little amount of resources spent. So instead of building, you know, what did I say? It's 90. So instead of building, let me take this and divide this by 90. You know, instead of building 6 water wheels, we build 1 for 50 and just encourage a narrow flow or a condensed flow, and that'll drastically increase our power output. So that's actually, I can't believe I've never done this before. This is the first time I've ever done it in this stream here, and this is so wildly smart. I can't, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense that I didn't think about it before, because, you know, it's just a new way of doing something, I guess. So yeah, we're good on power now, and we'll be able to access our farms here, which is exciting. So we'll get those ready to go, get some local water storage here, like so. Grab this, and actually get our water dump in place. And now technically we don't even really need to worry about this offshoot too much to get back here, because we now have our water supply. And this will all turn green once we get our worker in there. All right, so good deal. That was really successful. So the next thing we got to do here is just plug this in. And I probably should have set it up. I can actually resume working on this too. I probably should have set it up where the power just kind of comes together. But I think just for now on how this is going to be configured, it'll be quite okay. So as I mentioned, we got some storage that we probably want to get configured. And I'm thinking, let's keep this for more trees, I think is the play, and we'll shift our industrial complex over here temporarily, which kind of becomes in line with this over here. So I think what we'll do is get rid of all of this and just clean it all out. Let's just get some pathing, because eventually they're not going to be able to reach toward the back here unless we put in the pathways. So yeah, I mean, we're getting, once this is built here, we'll be getting over 1,000 horsepower from just 2 water wheels, which is phenomenal. I guess now that we also have power and we're developing planks, we can go ahead and actually have these, or these will actually get built out. They're priority set to the lowest. And then we can actually, let's go ahead and unlock our triple floodgate, put that in. And then once those are up and running, we can, actually, let me do that trick to save some time here in what they're clearing out. I think that's it. Yep. Oop. Gotta be careful with that delete selection. Okay, so we're also making gears. So because we are making gears, let's see, we also want to consider some storage solutions as well. Perhaps... Oh yeah, that'll be temporary. So we can kind of, once this all gets cleared out over here, what we can do is kind of play with some design for our industrial complex, our interim industrial complex. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're gonna all of a sudden run out of water. Well, power, rather. So I think because we do have a decent amount of logs stored already, which is good. Let me look at our storage here. So I'm half tempted to grab the underground pile. It's a little ahead of the curve on this. We might be a little better off just doing the water. Alright, these guys have nothing to do. Go ahead and drop them out. We now have one unemployed beaver. So I think also, because our food is really starting to take off, I'm going to drop the employment on these down to 2 each. And we're going to run out of water. We'll just kind of let that... So actually, before we just let that run, kind of make the most out of this, let's do some storage. I'm not going to use this space because it's an opportunity for a joined building for power. So I'll go ahead and put this here for now, and we'll do gears. And then a regular large pile. Let's clear these out, set priority on clearing these to highest. Then we'll put a little, put some storage here for links once they start working tomorrow. See, this is the thing about like the district distance. So it's now the next day and they haven't yet slept, and so that's going to carry over. They're actually going to go ahead and sleep now, and it's kind of pushing, it's delaying things just a little bit. So we want to make sure that we try and avoid that as best as possible. But to make sure that these guys keep doing what they're doing, I want to get this built up, make the most out of it, because we already capped our gears. And our planks will be produced pretty quickly as well. And then during our drought period, we can focus on designing out what this is going to look like. So I'm going to stay in tow with this 2-lane system. And I think the way we can kind of do that is... yeah, maybe we'll expand out our power system and kind of figure this out, because then that can help drive... So I know that once things hit a bend, we kind of lose that power. So I think we might actually, during this drought period, we have enough logs, we'll rework it, and we'll actually put it where the water wheels can be in a solid line here, straight down. So we'll wait for that to happen. I guess I can... oh, let me actually pause and delete this because we don't want to position that one there. So if we shift everything over to here and allow them to start building these up. I think we'll go here. I don't... actually, let's see, maybe we do it like this instead. Yeah. It'll still be fairly efficient. It won't be the most efficient, but actually, it'll be pretty efficient. I don't want to stop water from coming over here though. That's the thing. So if I maybe do something like this. I think what we'll do is essentially the water will come into here and will kind of just sit and stop, but then the water will actually be driven like this. Go ahead and delete this out. Oops, there we go. So do something like this. And then for navigation purposes, let's do a pathway over here. And eventually we'll path it out this way, and then I'll run the power, I'll consolidate the power on this side of the rail, I suppose. And then they should be able to have access to everything without any complications, so I'll just let that run. Free these guys up. Our science is taken off. Just let that passively sit. We do have 29 planks, so maybe to expedite this building process in preparation for the wet season coming back, we build a builder's hut. I'll go ahead and put that to 2 actually. Have the planks for it. We will set this one to lowest priority. We'll set this one to normal. Because you can employ 4 per... Oh, we set the building priority to highest as well. We can set the priority on the one to normal. And then it's 4 per. This also just kind of helps some things along for right now. And then... that's still slowly going while we're just kind of chilling in between projects here. Our wood's still good. We unlock that. Just double check this here. Okay. So yeah, we should be able to get a decent amount of this built in time for the wet season to come back. We also need to... So one thing that I kind of recommend, and it's a little bit more costly. So we have like these, we have elbow, we have T, and then we have an X junction. The X junction is the most versatile for like future needs, especially if you're building things a little tight in terms of accessibility. So in this instance, we have just this one walkway to kind of build things up. So what I would recommend, and actually we can alleviate that a little bit. Actually, we can alleviate that entirely. If I build a staircase here, and then do that, we can have the access for beavers to come up here and build things. But we'll do the cross intersections like so. And then we'll do this one and that one. Oh, it's because there's a pathway on that. So yeah, we'll set that like that for now. And let these get all built up. And I think I'll go ahead and cut here and just kind of get this project wrapped. And get it along. And then we'll work on figuring out how we want to design out some of the industrial structures. So, looks like I messed something up with the flow, and how this is kind of getting sorted. So I think it's this little inlet here. The water doesn't really know how to quite process that flow. And so it's kind of overstacking like that. I think it's just because this is not connected quite yet. So once it is, I think we should be okay. I'm a little nervous about getting the wood in time because I just finished cutting all these down and the flooding's getting just got a lot worse. So I'm wondering if I might need to break some of these levees over here on the back end so that way they have some wood to move. We have 70 logs here. There we go. So they'll take this, they'll pick this up, put it into storage, and then from the storage they'll put it back, and this will get us what we need, and hopefully this isn't gonna ruin too much. We're losing some of our sunflower seeds, which is okay. Not a big problem. We got plenty of other food. Plus we have plenty stored as well, which is quite okay. Yeah, I just think it's this here might be messing it up a little bit. We'll see though. We'll see. I think we should be okay though. Because like I'm expecting it to kind of turn like this is here, but there's no real movement. I'm kind of hoping that's going to be the same behavior over here as well. So we'll see. Okay, that didn't fix it. So I'm thinking maybe we need to somehow maybe block it off like this and maybe put a dam in here. Let's see what this does. A little bit of experimentation going on. This is the first time I've had to deal with something like this. It looks like we should have enough logs with the trees that are needing to be cut down. Let's just hope this will work. Oh, because our lumberjacks aren't even working because that area is flooded right now too. So we need to actually pivot. Please build these up temporarily. Actually. So that way they'll cut these down. I feel like this should work. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this should... I feel like it should work. Like I said, you know, water can definitely be finicky in how it's like calculated and determining the flow. So I'm wondering if it's just what it is because of how things are configured, but because the water is just gonna flow right over top of that. And what's kind of weird though is like it's bouncing out. I guess it's starting to encroach over here too, based on how this is all figured. The other thing I do know is that water wheels increase the elevation of water in front of them if there are enough, and will cause flooding, and they increase by 0.03 per wheel. So let's see, we have 8. So that's 0.24 water increase. So once this dam is built, if it's not... Oh, we don't have the wood for... Okay, so let's see. Let's just go ahead and demolish a couple of these then. Pick that up. Store it, and then immediately use it. I don't think this will actually fix it. Yeah, okay, it didn't. I think that's because I need to delete a couple of these. Should hopefully see the water recede a little bit. Okay, none whatsoever. Let's try 2 more. That's not doing it either. I wonder if it's just simply the way this is all flowing. If I delete this one here. Nope. This is really curious. Oh, hey, there we go. Come on, a little bit more. Okay, so it just looks like the issue was that yeah, we had too many water wheels in the way, so it was causing the issue. But you know what? I think we can settle for 2,000 for right now. That's really good for just the amount of water wheels that we have. So we'll stick with that. I'll leave the structure in place in the event that we can kind of update and adjust it in the future. And go ahead and unlock this. Looking at our gears, we have 20. So this will get us some more. We're about to hit another drop period already. I think before we expand our housing some more, we have 20 gears. And we'll have planks soon enough now that we have some wood income again. So I'm thinking this in place. And then we need to, our population is starting to dwindle. Actually, we'll set this to normal. That fall out. That's so the downside to the folktale population, you know, because it is linked to housing, is when you do large housing expansions, you're going to have a greater swing in population amount as a result. So that's something to always consider, is you kind of always want like a buffer of unemployed beavers, but it's also that balance of also wanting to maximize the efforts, right? So yeah, I think the 4 like this works. There's, I believe, another way we can kind of get around this. So I can I think I can open up some of the levees on the sides here, and then if I put more water wheels here with a gap, I think we might be okay in terms of how you can see like the water level here is pretty much maxed out. And I think that's because, so the 0.03, so that's 1.2 in height, and I believe the dams stop water at 0.75 or something like that. So I think the combination of how this is all rigged and the natural elevation of water on this side plus the water wheels was what's causing, or is what caused that flooding. So but we do have a plentiful amount of power. We have our water tank up and running as well. So we also can kind of see that we're not, I guess maybe we are capping out our water acquisition. So maybe I can put in another water pump here, do this, set the priority on this one to high for the workplace. That's set on highest, that's set on highest. That way we can just make sure that we're stabilized. Well, actually, let's go ahead and let it run. I want to see how quickly this will fill up with just the 2 and see if that's okay. Then while we do that, so the consideration now for our industrial complex and its storage is the piles here. Nothing can be built on top. They're not marked as solid. So things like logs and planks. Logs, planks, coated planks. I'm sorry, treated planks. Scrap metal and metal blocks have to go into this storage, and they can't, you know, you can't build anything on top of it, which is unfortunate. So we need to make sure that this space is open. We can keep this as the road here. And so what we can maybe do is run our power. Actually, maybe we make, let's see. Trying to think of how we're gonna, well, we just need the power to get over to a structure. And then one of the structures is gonna be lifted. So what I'd like to do is, here we go. If we did a storage piece like this, and then we did maybe, just to make the most of the space, we can do some additional storage on the back here. So we'll do, for example, we'll do, this will be gears. Eventually this would be for, call it paper. Actually, we'll do double up on gears. And we'll just leave the storage, I don't know, just set it as something generic for now, so that way we don't get the warning for it, which is fine. So if that's the gears, that's gears, which is fine. What we can do now is, let's see, consolidate the power. So that's all connected, so let's just do a single offshoot of power this way. And then we can use our high power shaft, lift the power up. And then start again with planks. Do, oh geez. It's a little excessive on the storage, but honestly for the cost, you know, 15 logs to get an elevated platform, it's a lot less expensive than like this platform, for example. You know, because it's one log to one plank, so it's 6 logs in total. And so it'd be 6 times 6, 36 versus 15. So it's technically less expensive just to do it like this outright. Actually, what we can do, I want to destroy this. We can place these back a ways. So we'll do 3, we'll do 4 for planks. We're not going to have all of them running at the same time either. Do 3 for gears. We'll let them get built and then we'll kind of go from there. Then we can do this here in front. And then we can always come up and then over and then down. And then connect in that way. And we'll just pick some generic stuff right now that we're not really going to be producing. So let's see, we got gears. I guess naturally it'd be like paper, more paper, maybe some dynamite. Then once we get the rest of these built up, we'll just go ahead and pause their working status. What are we waiting on here? Planks. Okay, so here's the other consideration now. So you can see how our water level is a lot lower. It's actually now just completely out. So we lost that irrigation over there, but we're good. We have plenty of, decent amount of water stored up. it might actually be beneficial for us to maybe get these finished. They do require a hefty amount of material, and actually we can't reach all of them over here. I should have caught that to begin with. So we'll put those in as well. Set this to a lower priority. Because I would rather get this all started up, because quickly getting, or being able to get the materials quicker, would be a little bit better for us in the long run of things. So I'll let this get all built up, and then probably get that complete as well, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's see. We have our oak trees being planted to start getting a little bit more efficient with that. Got one extra house in place. I activated the third water pump to ensure that we're good on that. Letting this slowly finish, and then also I went ahead and unlocked the paper mill so that way we can start getting paper, and then from that we can utilize the beehive. And the beehives we can get in place here once they're ready to go, and that'll really expedite or just really increase our food production as well too. So looks like we're sitting real pretty on the sunflower seeds. I'm actually kind of happy about having that many. If you look at our well-being, you can kind of see how everything's kind of balanced out here. I'm not going to worry about the spatterdock quite yet, and I might do the chestnuts next. But then also, yeah, so the spatterdock and the cattail crackers can kind of hold for now. Those are an aquatic base that be planted in water, which we technically do have some space here because of the limitations of how high the water gets and how much power we're actually getting out of this system. So we could always just go ahead and clear this out if we really wanted to. It couldn't hurt actually, so let's just go ahead and do that. Why not? And then we'll make sure that these can all get planted over here. Uh-oh. Please recede. I wondered if I just messed up the flow because I did that. It looks like I did, yeah. So maybe we need to just do this. Kind of block it off. Or it looks like it's now okay. It's just it's naturally going back down, which is good. But yeah, I'll still leave it like this just for the heck of it. We're still getting plenty of water access from everything. I think we might. But yeah, so this water here is feeding, and then this water here is feeding that way. So yeah, we'll be fine as is. That shouldn't have changed any of the water flow, which is good. So yeah, maybe we can actually do up some of that grilled spatterdock and then expand our food and whatnot over to this area perhaps. So industrial complex coming together. Looks like we're still waiting on plank production. Is quite absorbed, it seems. So that's just going to be a matter of time once it all kind of fills out and things get built up. So once this gets built up, we'll have a nice big reservoir here. We can shift our water, like I said, over to this area and have regular access, because these water pumps go to a depth of 2. So I think as long as we have enough water pumps during the temperate season, we should be in good shape regardless of how long our droughts are, playing on normal, like I mentioned on the first episode. So I want to just get this project done. So yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and get this complete and wrapped, like I said, and then kind of discuss next steps. Quick update. So, still not fully done quite yet. I mean, I guess technically everything over here is built. We're still waiting for all that over there to be built. But something I changed to kind of expedite the process that I realized was kind of hanging them up is the plank. Like the lumber mills would get full, they'd max out on planks, or they'd spend their time transporting the planks all the way over to the storage we had here, and then come back. So I relocated the storage to be more localized for their needs, and we can now see that we're actually overproducing based on the rate of consumption, or compared to the rate of consumption, we are now overproducing, which is good. So we have a doubled up stack of logs here and then a doubled up planks until we are feeling really good with the amount of gears that we have to start building the larger storages, these underground piles, which costs a pretty penny in terms of science, but definitely have the overhead for that. The other thing that I did as well is I expanded. We got 2 more houses. We're expanding quite quickly, but we're pretty good on food production, especially because we're also going to be building the beehives here in a second. But I also wanted to, now that we're kind of getting into this, lots moving and stuff like that, I wanted to, building needs power. Oh, we just hit a drought. That's why. I didn't even realize. This might actually be a good time then to get these in place. But yeah, now that we have everything kind of moving around pretty quickly. Oh, I just realized I miscalculated over here. We actually have an extra 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I actually want this. This stays here. I've already marked it for deletion. I don't know how to undo that. I don't think I can. So essentially these sunflowers here on the side are extras. I can't believe I didn't even notice that until now. Which is fine. Let's see, beehives. Oh, we need to get this one back here removed as well. But yeah, the beehives will definitely increase the rate of food production. I mean, we are definitely like maxed out on food anyway. But like I said, as food consumption goes up, we're definitely going to want to offset that. And we still have the overhead, like I did earlier. I reduced the employment down to 2, whereas we will technically be able to, if we needed to even further increase the food processing speed, we will have the means in which to do so by re-employing those 4 empty slots across our farms. So the one thing for beehives, and I've never really noticed a significant impact, is actually bee stings. Because I do use them we don't have a lot of farms and whatnot. This doesn't really carry too much weight when it comes to overall well-being. So we'll reserve this for the the Spatterdock and the cattails. But I was kind of thinking, if it doesn't hinder it too much, actually turning this into a dam, like so. And then within here, trying to think about the best way to do it. I think we nick it here. Put the pathway in here. And if we go to well-being, we can unlock the Lido. I think we can do just 2. That there. What if there's a better way to do this? Entrance is blocked. Let's see. So yeah, we can just do like 1 here. And then we can do another one like this, I suppose. Just something for now. Just a little thing that they can enjoy, because while there is the wet fur, there also is Lido. Like, it's a specified its own segment. So the Lido contributes to both this portion under fun, but then also to wet fur. So something we can just kind of make use of that space, since it's not really going to be utilized for anything else in the meantime. So we can just kind of have it like that. And if we really wanted to, we can even put some structures in here like this. I mean, it'd be a little inefficient to do like that. So maybe the better idea under decoration would be unlocking the shrub. And then if we position them in such a way, just like this, make it symmetrical. That one will technically hit both houses. So this tile now affects the whole house. This one little range here, because it's connected to the house. Anytime they're in this house, they'll be affected by the shrub, and they'll get that well-being from it. And the closer, like the more time they spend near the item, the greater the bar, where is it, will fill up. So you can see, like, as long as they're in close proximity, that bar goes up. So because they'll be in the house for a set period of time, that should essentially cap out. And that makes the most use out of that well-being as well. And then last but not least, and then we'll probably wrap it up after this, is I'll do the same thing with the scarecrows. Actually, we are out of paper, so that actually won't really do anything. We have no planks as well. So essentially, though, and maybe I'll just do this going into the next episode, is the beaver statues as well, and the scarecrows, same thing. And you can even technically do the roof as well. You can see it's tile of influence. So technically just doing a roof like this would apply to all 5 of these lodges. So I can always just do one in the middle like that, and then I can technically just do one right here as well. And that bonus will apply to all of those housing units, which is nice. And it looks like, yeah, our oak trees, they won't die, but we definitely want to get this built up so that way we're no longer consuming all of our water here, losing some well-being from that. But I think we're in a good spot. You know, we got some really strong power from our water wheels here with how we set up the flow of water, which is nice. And yeah, starting next episode, this will get completed. And then I think from there, we'll kind of spruce up some of that well-being a little bit too, just to kind of improve some efficiencies, you know, move speed, work speed, and lifespan as well. And then there's a few more components that we'll need for our industrial complex. So we'll continue that, and that's going to include tapping into our scrap metal that we have here. Because if we look at the tech process under metal, we'll need a scavenger flag. We'll need the smelter as well. So the scavenger flag to get the scrap metal, we'll use the scrap metal to build the smelter, and then the smelter will get us the iron blocks that we need. And then we go under landscaping, we have the explosives factory, which requires 30 iron blocks or metal blocks. And then we need dynamite, and the dynamite is made using paper. So we have the paper production already underway, which is good. So we have everything unlocked that we need to start terraforming. And then once that's all set up, we'll start on this project and really start to terraform. Starting over here first, getting all the supply components up and running. And we'll probably convert some of this extra space over here for trees, because we're definitely going to be utilizing a good amount of logs overall. This is a decent amount, but it's always better to have a little bit more than you think you're going to need. And yeah, so we'll go from there and really kind of figure out, or not figure out, but get the industrial complex sorted out and start really terraforming. Maybe we'll tap into this metal first just to kind of get it out of the way, because it's going to be in our work area, if you will, or area of influence. Maybe even cut down all these trees as well, and yeah, go from there. So, all right, take care. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. It does help out the channel. If you want to see more content in the future, be sure to subscribe if you're not already. And if you have any questions about Timberborn and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But with that, I'm looking forward to what we're going to be able to do with our future power expansion. We already have a lot out of these water wheels here, and the build that we're going to be working towards is going to be so much better, and I'm really excited for it. So, take care.